Imagine standing in a completely dark room. There's no sound, no light, no sense of where you are. You begin to wonder, how do I know I exist? This might sound like the beginning of a thriller, but it's the very question René Descartes asked himself in the 17th century. At a time when old systems of knowledge were crumbling, Descartes sought a foundation that couldn't be doubted, no matter how hard one tried. What he found wasn't a grand revelation handed down from the heavens or the result of physical proof. Instead, it was something stunningly simple. I think, therefore I am. This phrase, cogito ergo sum, isn't just a relic of philosophy textbooks. It's a timeless reflection of what it means to be human. Descartes didn't just give us a way to define existence. He showed us the power of questioning, doubting, and thinking for ourselves. We've all had those moments of uncertainty, where everything feels unsteady. Yet there's one thing we can always rely on: our ability to think. And in that we find something undeniably real: ourselves. Descartes' insight wasn't just a philosophical breakthrough. It was a revelation that touches the core of our humanity. In the early 17th century, Europe was in turmoil. The scientific revolution was unraveling centuries of traditional thought, and religious authorities were being challenged by new discoveries and philosophies. René Descartes, a French mathematician and philosopher, lived in a time when certainty seemed elusive. Questions of existence, truth, and knowledge were becoming more pressing, and Descartes was determined to find a solid foundation, something unshakable upon which all knowledge could be built. His solution to this quest for certainty was encapsulated in one of the most famous phrases in human history: Cogito ergo sum, or I think, therefore I am. Descartes' method began with doubt. He questioned everything: the evidence of his senses, the teachings of his education, even the existence of the physical world. Could he trust his senses? Not entirely. After all, our senses can deceive us. A stick submerged in water appears bent, even though it's straight. Could he rely on the knowledge passed down by others? History is filled with examples of beliefs once held as absolute truths that were later disproven. Descartes decided that to find certainty, he had to doubt everything, absolutely everything, until he found something that could not be doubted. This relentless skepticism led Descartes to his most important insight. As he stripped away layer after layer of assumed knowledge, one thing remained: the very act of doubting itself. Even if everything else was uncertain, the fact that he was doubting meant he was thinking. And if he was thinking, then he must exist. This realization became the cornerstone of his philosophy. I think, therefore I am. It's a deceptively simple statement, but its implications are profound. Descartes had identified a truth that was immune to doubt. No matter how hard you try, you cannot deny the existence of your thoughts without thinking about it, which proves the point. At its core, cogito ergo sum is about self-awareness. It's a moment of realization that cuts through uncertainty. Think about a time when you felt lost, unsure of what's real or true. Maybe it was during a sleepless night when doubts crept in, or a moment of crisis when everything felt like it was slipping away. Yet even in those moments, there's one thing you can't deny: your own awareness. Descartes' insight taps into this universal experience. It reminds us that no matter how uncertain the world may seem, the very act of questioning proves that we exist. But Descartes didn't stop there. He used this foundation to rebuild his understanding of reality. Once he had established that he existed because he was thinking, he began to explore what else could be known with certainty. He concluded that the mind was distinct from the body, laying the groundwork for what we now call dualism, the idea that the mind and body are separate entities. This concept has sparked centuries of debate and has influenced fields ranging from philosophy to neuroscience. Of course, not everyone agrees with Descartes. His critics have pointed out potential flaws in his reasoning. Some argue that the leap from I think to I am is not as self-evident as Descartes claimed. Others challenge the idea that the mind and body are separate, pointing to modern scientific understanding of consciousness as deeply intertwined with the physical brain. Still, the strength of Descartes' argument lies in its simplicity. Even today, it's a compelling starting point for discussions about existence and self-awareness. Descartes' philosophy also raises fascinating questions about artificial intelligence and consciousness. If thinking defines existence, does that mean an advanced AI capable of independent thought could claim, "I think, therefore I am"? What distinguishes human consciousness from a machine's ability to process information? These are questions that philosophers, scientists, and engineers are still grappling with, and they show how Descartes' ideas remain relevant in our rapidly evolving world. On a more personal level, Cogito, Ergo Sum challenges us to reflect on our own experiences of self-awareness. It's a reminder of the power of thought and introspection. In an age of constant distractions and noise, taking a moment to simply acknowledge your own existence can feel revolutionary. Descartes' insight encourages us to embrace doubt not as a weakness but as a tool for finding truth. After all, it was through doubting everything that he discovered the one thing he couldn't doubt, his own existence. Descartes' journey wasn't just an intellectual exercise, it was a profound exploration of what it means to be human. His discovery of cogito ergo sum wasn't a distant, abstract concept. It was a deeply personal realization that speaks to the heart of our shared experience. In moments of uncertainty, we often seek answers outside ourselves, through others, through technology, or through external validation. Descartes reminds us to turn inward, to trust in our own ability to think, and to find certainty within. By questioning everything, Descartes uncovered a truth that continues to resonate across centuries. It's a testament to the enduring power of philosophy to illuminate the most fundamental aspects of our existence. Descartes' phrase, simple as it may seem, is a powerful declaration of the human spirit, a reminder that even in the face of doubt, we are undeniable. Descartes' declaration, "I think, therefore I am," is more than a philosophical statement. It's a reminder of the power of thought and self-awareness. At its core, it affirms something profound about the human experience. Even in moments of doubt, we have an undeniable connection to our existence. Descartes teaches us that certainty doesn't come from the outside world. It starts from within. This is a lesson as relevant today as it was in the 17th century, perhaps even more so in a world filled with distractions and uncertainties. In our modern lives, we often look outward for validation, through social media, through possessions, or through the opinions of others. Yet Descartes reminds us that our sense of self doesn't depend on any of these external factors. It comes from the simple yet extraordinary act of thinking. It's a powerful message. We exist not because of what we have or what others say, but because we are aware of ourselves. This truth grounds us in a way that no fleeting validation ever could. But there's another layer to this insight, one that challenges us to embrace doubt. Descartes didn't fear uncertainty. He used it as a tool to uncover deeper truths. In a world that often values certainty and quick answers, his approach reminds us that doubt is not our enemy. It's a guide, one that leads us to question, reflect, and ultimately grow. So, what can we take from this? Perhaps it's a call to pause, to think deeply, and to reconnect with the simple reality of our existence. Descartes' words invite us to embrace the act of thinking, not just as a means to solve problems, but as a way to understand ourselves and the world around us. In a chaotic world, that's a lesson worth holding on to,